done, but one of the things I've often thought about, a pair of guys used to show at the Eastern, correct me Hank if I'm wrong, difficulty with McKee's one I'll pick on. McKee laces the tail like this. When he's left-handed, he laces it all the way around this way. So it looks really odd on one side and looks right on the other side, right? Okay. So what Reeside and Mitchell used to do is they have a tin can, and they had that between their legs. So they sat down, put it between their legs, and then they slid the bird in there, and it gave them both hands to work with. I always thought it was kind of neat.
That was you take the can and you bend one end of it, a regular can, you cut it, bend it and solder it. I still got one at home from Harry Claus.
Didn't Carl Otto used to do that?
A lot of the old ones.
I remember seeing pictures of
You put it right between your legs, like you said, and the whole tail's mine's so rusted, I'm afraid I'd never get the rust off. They usually just spray the color of the rust.
So Lance made comment about, I like to look at the back of the tail to see what kind of job is done. Is there anything there you'd want to change in that tail? Anything there you'd want to change? Anything in that tail you'd want to change? Right here, right? Okay? Now again, appreciate that this is what happens to people when you come to a show. Somebody grabs a bird and shoves it in your hand. You've never seen it before. And so it's difficult in the 5 minutes to get it right always. But overall, I'd say that's pretty well done. It's pretty well spaced. And that's what you're looking to do. The other thing that he didn't do, so generally he's lacing fairly low. We normally would take these cushion feathers and just pull them out just a little bit so that they're covering up any of those fret marks that are there, okay? I haven't got this will do. Usually would use a stick, a little poker stick, and just pull those feathers out so they're not stuck in behind, and do the same thing here to make the bird a little comfortable.
Usually use those little wooden shish kebab sticks.
All right, one really significant difference between those three guys lacing tails besides sitting down. Anybody else pick up what it was?
The direction.
What's that?
The direction of when they pull them out.
The direction. Tell me what you mean, Jerry.
Lance is like Ferber. He just goes right through them. And I think you did them individually, or
Dominic?
Danny did. Maybe it was Dominic. Did them individually like I did, where Ferber and Lance
Grab
just
that
beat them
mic
up
right
like
there.
that. And then they do about 6 and then they go on.
Okay. So, Philip, come here for a minute.
And when you go back, you go the other way.
Now, put up your right hand for me for a minute, and I'll put up my right hand, and there's a little bit of a difference, okay? So, one of the times I remember being fascinated was a bird years ago. It was a partnership bird that Bobby and I had. He had a 15-inch tail, and he laced that tail up. And I said, how can those freaking little hands lace that tail? Well, it's real simple. Watch what he does. These two guys start lacing from the center down instead of from the bottom up. And I've done it for way too many years, but if I'm trying to teach people to lace, I tell them to watch these two because I think it's the easiest way to do it. And I would suggest for people like him, it's the only way to do it with a big tail and little hands. He tells me he makes up for it in other parts of his body.
Got a big heart?
This silver cock, if we were to put him in that claiming class, anybody interested? Put up your hand if you're interested in that bird. If you could buy a $5 card in that bird, would you be interested?
What silver cup?
No, that silver cock right there. It's a silver. It is a silver.
Hank already put up his hand.
Okay, got a few hands. All right.